What's up, y'all? Today I got a new video. These are three books that got me into comics. Probably titling it something like that. This is not like when I was growing up, I read a lot of like Sunday comics and like Calvin and Hobbes and Pearls Before Swine, that sort of stuff. And then we managed to get our hands, me and my brother, we each smuggled into our house a bunch of Deadpool comics and a bunch of Inuyasha back in the day. But these books are the ones that, like, as an adult, got me into it. I like had stopped reading books pretty much after high school. I feel like a lot of people do that. Didn't really read anything. Then I went into the store, got one of the books on this list, and it kind of catapulted me into the debilitating addiction that I have now. That is comic books. Uh, this is not necessarily in the order that they were like read by me, but I figured I'd start with Do a Powerbomb because it's kind of a basic choice, if you ask me. But it's the truth. You know, Do a Powerbomb. This was written and drawn by Daniel Warren Johnson, colored by Mike Spicer. I feel like a lot of people gas up Daniel Warren Johnson specifically, but also gas up this book quite a bit. I think it won an Eisner Award a while ago. This for me was like, I think that this book is like the pinnacle of a lot of these like tournament style action comics, like kind of like a battle, like some of these manga, how they have like the battle and that's just it, and it's just this big tournament fighting everything. I think this is the best version of that. Daniel Warren Johnson is an absolute sicko when it comes to art. His stuff is so good. This for me, I still think is his best work, and maybe that's nostalgia talking, you know. But I don't think I've ever enjoyed any of his books more than this one. Maybe I liked Wonder Woman a lot, but I think this one runs away with it. The pitch of it is that this is a wrestling comic. We follow the Steel Rose family. We check in with Yuna, I believe is her name, Yuna Steel Rose, as she gets called in by a necromancer to be a part of like a magic wrestling tournament in a different dimension with all sorts of kooky and crazy opponents that she has to face. That's like the simplest way for me to put it. There's obviously a lot more to it than that. Daniel Warren Johnson, I feel like, is known for his like real kinetic feeling that comes with the comics, and also like the heart at the center of them. I think that sometimes his stuff gets a little like corny isn't the right word, but that's what I'm gonna use. This one I think has none of that. I think this shit rips. For me personally, this was big because it showed me like I had never thought that something like this was even like possible in a comic book when I first got this, and I was like, wow, this is like really interesting and unique, and has like, you know, an artist like really using their own voice, like something you could not find anywhere else, like a story like this. And so that really, really drew me in. This book is incredible. This is absolutely a 5 out of 5 banger masterpiece. If you haven't read Do a Powerbomb somehow, because I guess you're living under a rock somewhere, you should. You should. This book rips. Also, great cover, dude. Great cover. He's so good. This book is so good. Shout out Daniel Warren Johnson for real. All right. Next one. I've got God Country. This is by Donnie Cates. Drawn by Jeff Shaw. Lettered by Jason Wordy. Colored by somebody Hill. I actually don't know. No, colored by Wordy. Lettered by Hill. Should have known better. This also comes from Image Comics. Donnie Cates is a writer that I find really interesting. He stopped making comics. He like dropped off the map a little while ago. I don't totally know because I wasn't really like tapped in like that when he was really cooking. But he's, you know, I think a pretty big name in like the big two comics and all this. Big name in comics in general. And this book I probably bought in like a Barnes and Noble at some point. I don't know. Big Sword, God Country seemed cool. I had heard some good reviews. I had done like 2 Google searches on other comics I might like, and this one came up. Something else I think is important about this and Do a Powerbomb is that these books are like all in ones. Like the whole story is in this book, and that was really important to me. Or it like had an impact on me that was the case. It felt great. And you know, when you only hear about Marvel and DC comics, you don't really know about the independent comics world. it seems impossible that you could get a comic book that's not connected to these crazy ass universes that go on for 100 fucking years or whatever. This book, I actually haven't reread this in a long time. I loved this book. I read it in one sitting. It like blew me away. I remember really loving, I think it's the second issue in here, or third, the one where he walks around with the like Roman god looking dude. I think that Jeff Shaw's art is very expressive. I think it's perfect for this book. It's like a perfect marriage between, writer and artist here, where like the content of the book is enhanced, like all the lines are enhanced through Jeff Shaw's artwork. It's about this guy, who's to say what his name is, huh? I can't remember. He is Roy. Roy is his name. There we go. He has to come back home because his dad is like losing his mind a little bit. Like dementia is just getting old. His dad's a huge, like brick shithouse of a dude. And so he's while he's like the dementia is affecting him, he is kind of coming loose, man. He's coming loose. He's dangerous. So he moves back here with his wife and his daughter so that he can spend this time with his dad. He thinks, probably getting close to the end here. Causes a lot of stress in the family, but he chooses to do it anyways. And when that happens, there's a storm in the town. A magic storm. That drops off a magic sword. A big, cool magic sword that the grandpa gets his hands on. When the grandpa has the sword, he's back to his old self. He's no longer riddled with dementia like he was before. And it kind of, the conflict of the comic comes from, like, there's other things that want the sword. So, like, he has to fight things with it. It's crazy. I feel like that was a lot that I gave you. So, hopefully that's enough to do it. This book is also definitely, like, a banger masterpiece, dude. I don't think it gets better. I think that this is, like, there's something that just works if you give me character with big sword. It's always cool. This version, old guy with big sword, works like a charm, dude. So good. It has a lot of imagination. I think it has a real heart. I love Donny Cates' like voice, I guess you could call it. Like the tone of this book is so genuine. It's like, or authentic is the right word. It's riddled with authenticity, bro. Like this book just feels like home. It feels like a family. Like I believe all these people and the connections matter. And the emotional hits work very, very well, I think. All the emotional beats, which this has a couple of. I don't really cry necessarily when I'm reading books, but there's a lot of good stuff in here. There's like real, like, I feel like lots of people can relate to this, although it's about an old man with a magic talking sword. I actually don't think the sword talks. Very cool magic sword. Yeah, God Country is sick. I got my hands on this book, read it all in one sitting. This is for sure a 5 out of 5 for me. Maybe it's some nostalgia goggles, but I won't apologize for it. This shit rips. Alright, this last one was really the book I wanted to talk about and like that spurred me to make this video. This is Strange Adventures. Sorry, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. Strange Adventures by Tom King. Mitch Gerads, who knows, and Doc Shaner, Evan Doc Shaner. This is not the book that I had at the time. This is the fancy deluxe edition they made afterwards. I had the OG one before, and then I lost it, which was very sad. So then, twist my arm. I guess I'll buy the deluxe edition, This book actually was the one that changed everything. This was the first comic I bought like just on a whim. We were at Barnes & Noble or whatever, and I saw the cover for that old book, which is this one. And I was like, this looks sick, dude. So I picked it up, and it blew me away. Now, I've heard rumor that James Gunn read this book, and he loved it. It was like one of the ones that like really connected, that he really connected with when starting to do this like DC job that he has. This follows Adam Strange, adventurer, spaceman. We come to him. He is back on Earth. He was out on a planet called Ran, where he was like teleported there, I think it was. Like a random happenstance sent him out into space. He returned. He became this like hero, this like sci-fi old school space hero. And he was like lauded as like a hero, right? He's like, this guy's sick. He's up there with these like Justice League guys. He helps out. He's great. At the very beginning of this book, a guy comes up and he goes, "Man, I know what you did out there, bro. You are a fucking criminal. You're a terrible person. Everyone cheers like you're a hero, but you're not." And so it kind of that gets the story going with this like, oh, why did that guy say that? Is there more to that? And then there's like a grand investigation into Adam Strange himself because of this. Okay. Now, I feel like that as a sell that like description of the plot is like not a great sell. However, dude, this book, one, Mitch Garrett's art is sick. Doc Shainer's art is sick. The way that you jump between this being the present, this being his like memories of being on the planet, is very well done. Tom King, for me, a Mount Rushmore comic book writer. He's for me. I really am trying to come up with a reason to say he's not the GOAT. I can't really come up with one. I really like him. And this book has all the reasons why. It's like this like grounded grittiness that comes with these like silly over the top characters. And this one, just the way that it's really like interrogating this idea of the spaceman is really what does it for me. This book has Mr. Terrific in it, which I think is why it ended up in the Superman movie. There's no way I'll ever find out if that's true or not, but that's what I think. Mr. Terrific in this book is a bad motherfucker, dude. I love him dearly. He literally comes in and he's like, "I'm here to solve mysteries and fuck wives." And that's it. And he's so good. This book has all sorts of style and sauce. The artwork is incredible. The like bouncing in between, I don't think has ever been done better. The taking Adam Strange's honestly kind of goofy, corny like story, like his power and origin or like whatever you want to call it, where he's like zapped over there into this space world planet is probably the word. That's better. I think Tom King does so good at grounding those things and making it feel like there's real stakes and real danger and real intrigue that's happening with all of this. Intrigue is the name of the game with this book. This shit is a page turner. This is also a great example of him. He uses Batman in this book like he's a force of nature, which are my favorite kinds of like DC and Marvel comics are the ones where we get Batman and Superman. They are not down with the rest of you. They are like fucking gods, dude. They are not the kind of people that you mess with, dude. They're unstoppable forces, man. And Batman really feels like that in this story. For the worst on behalf of Mr. Strange, but it's great. This book's so good. I think it's really underrated. I think that people sleep on this in Tom King's catalog. I don't know why. This might be my favorite book. Well, actually, Human Target's probably my favorite Tom King book. But this one's up there, dude. Like, Strange Adventures is really good. Super slept on, I think. Just in general. Yeah. So these have been the 3 comic books that really got me into comics. These are probably the first 3 banger masterpieces that I bought. And ever since, I have been hopelessly in love with the medium. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you made it this far, I'd love it if you left a comment telling me the books that got you into comics. I'm always looking for more to buy and feed my sickness. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Yo, before you go, I wanted to show you the comics that I make. This is The Gifts of the Zadik. It follows our main character, Ram, who has just been crowned the Zadik, also known as the Chosen One, in his small village, and given unreal powers. But as soon as he gets these powers, he is disillusioned by the role that his people wish him to play, and so he wants to go out and find how to become a hero out in the world. It'll sweeten the pot. He also finds that there's another Chosen One out there, somewhere in the world, that maybe can give him answers and help him find his true purpose. If you are interested in buying this book, you can get them at lior.com. It's a great way to support me, the artist, and the guy who runs this channel. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all later.